Okay, good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. My name is Richfield King Azameti, and a lot of people call me by the name Fearless. So if you've seen Fearless somewhere, you are witnessing Fearless today on BTS. Yes. So we just dive right into the session. I want to know who is Shatawali. Who is Shatawali? Hi, Shatawali. If you could unmute and speak to me.
Hello.
Oh, no be Shata, no be Shata. Okay. All right. So I would uh share screen and PowerPoint. Let's go ahead. Please let me know if you guys can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay. All right. So today we'll be speaking briefly about some of the security operation center tools that we use. And yes, I would like to know the people that work at the SOC over here. If you work at the SOC, you can just raise your hand or just unmute and say something. This session is going to be full of discussion, so I'll be asking a couple of questions. I'll be mentioning names randomly, and then so if you work at the SOC, okay, let me see. Okay, Shatawali says he works at the SOC. I work part-time as a SOC analyst. Part-time in Ghana or where? Chief. Hey, wow.
I think about the stock analyst thing. Wendell can tell us more about it. We have Wendell on the call.
You have no what?
We have Wendell on the call. Wendell can tell us more about it.
Oh, okay. Wendell, you can tell us more about the Shatta says you should tell us more about who a SOC analyst is.
Oh, okay. I don't know why they put you on the spot like that. I don't know who Shatawale is, but I don't even know how he knows me. But anyway,
Okay.
so basically, a SOC analyst basically does the work of monitoring most of it. Like their job or our job is to monitor, so and detect basically. So based on certain tools or SIEMs and certain cyber threat intelligence tool, we can use it to monitor whether an attack is taking place uh, in your infrastructure or your network. Yes. So basically, that's what I can see as a SOC analyst or what a SOC is about.
Okay, that's fine. Basically, you said it all. So the SOC basically monitors, detects, analyzes, responds, and try to, mitigate threats in an organization. So just an introduction about myself. My name is Richfield, as I said. So I'm a security analyst by career, a pen tester by passion, and I also code as well. That's why I've placed a software engineer over here. I do cloud stuff as well. So you can check out my LinkedIn. It's basically Richfield King. When you search for Richfield King, you would get me. On X, you can search by the name _fearless_h. And I have a few blogs on the Medium as well. I have a YouTube channel, but I didn't put it here. I'll add that later. Okay, so we'll just dive right into it. Since we have just few people that have knowledge on talk, we'll try and then speak and then discuss more about the day-to-day activities that go on in the SOC, right? Yes, so this slide basically speaks about some of the tools that we use in the cyber defense world. So in any SOC, what you see is we have SIM platforms, the security information and events management platforms. We have endpoint detection and response. And when we say endpoint, basically laptops, mobile phones, servers, all those are endpoints. And then we have firewalls and intrusion detection and prevention systems. Please, if I'm going too fast, you guys should alert me. And then if you have a question, just let me know. Okay. So we have application security tools as well that we use in the SOC. Not every SOC does application security though, but some of them do it. And we have threat intelligence as well. Yes, so we just go in that order. Yeah, so as I said, the same basically as the security information and events management platform that we mostly use to receive logs. So mostly SIMs are configured in a way to take logs either by agents or agentless softwares. I wouldn't say agentless softwares, would I say? Agents are softwares and then agentless what systems that help to bring on logs onto the SIM. And the SIM does what? It aggregates, analyzes, correlates these logs, interprets it, and helps the SOC analyst to do what? To monitor, detect, and investigate anomalies within these logs. Now, these anomalies basically will be looking out for malicious activities in your environment, taking a look at your threat landscape, making sure that you are holding forth onto your risk weight and also your risk management at some point. So there are a couple of tools I tried. I would want to show some of the tools we use, but I can't do that. I can't do that on this call. Can't do that on this call. So basically, for me, I have used about 3 of the SIM solutions. I've worked with Rapid7 IDR, which is the incident detection and response. I've worked with Event Tracker, and I've also worked with the Log Rhythm SIM. All these SIMs, they do the same thing, and their main goal is to aggregate, analyze, and correlate logs and help the SOC analyst to do it. To interpret or investigate alerts. Right. We wouldn't delve more into how the alerts are being investigated or how you can say, well, this alerts are true positive or if this alerts are false positive. But we wouldn't be delving into that in this call today, maybe on another call. Yes. So basically, that's what we have with the same tools. Yes. Please, do you have any question?
Oh, I don't think not at the moment. Please, if you have any question, you can leave it in the chat so that midway he pause and explains your questions and answer them properly before we move on. So I think for now we are good.
Okay. Okay, but who can tell me what's basically a SIM does if we are all listening?
Okay, there's a question in the chat for you, Richfield.
How
How
does
does an agentless SIM works?
Okay, so agentless, we wouldn't say they are SIMs, but the agentless feature itself just deals with use of syslogs to bring in logs from whatever system that is producing those logs. So we have agents. Agents are basically softwares that we can use to do what? Pull logs to the SIM for correlation to be done. Okay. And another way to go by that is go agentless. And agentless, you use the syslogs. And please, Chatawali, do you know what a syslog is? Can let me just Access log. So the main goal of access log is that it's being used to send events data logs to a central location for storage. So that's one way of sending logs using the agentless system. You can still research agentless monitoring or SIMs. Let's see only one agentless. Oh. Monitoring. Okay. So basically, this platform is telling us, SolarWinds is telling us that agentless monitoring helps you monitor your overall network, blah, blah, blah. Agentless monitoring is a less intrusive method of network observation using application-specific APIs and various network protocols, such as SNMP and WMI. So instead of using agents, you would have to go and read this on your own. Instead of using agents, we sometimes use agentless softwares to actually send logs. Yes. Is that clear? Okay, all right. Do you have any other question? Okay, so I'll just go ahead. Yes, and also we have the endpoint detection and response, right? In an environment, take for example, the organization that you work in, or even a school, you have endpoints that belong to the school. You have work laptops, phones, servers, and how do you monitor these endpoints to know what activity is going on? For example, you have a company laptop, and then there's a malware running on that particular machine, and then you are just connecting it to the work network. How do we know? How are we able to track? How are we able to monitor, detect, and also respond, right? So we have a couple of tools that we use for that. So for our EDRs, the endpoint detection and response, one of the greatest tools we have in the industry is the CrowdStrike. I think I should just be Googling the tools for you to have a look. CrowdStrike, Falcon. Oh. And then show me something, Really? Let me see. Images. Ooh. I would want to show you a list, how the platform looks like, but I can't do that here. Really. Okay. All right. Let's just continue. So we have the CrowdStrike Falcon. We have the Microsoft Defender for endpoints. And Microsoft has a huge security platform for monitoring endpoints, monitoring users in an environment. We have for the identity management, we have one of the tools called Entra. And Entra is used to manage the identity of an organization. Basically, let's say the Active Directory and all that. So Microsoft has Microsoft Defender, not the Defender you see on your machine, like Windows Defender. No. Microsoft itself has a solution called Microsoft Defender that is a security tool, a security solution that helps in doing what? Monitoring endpoints and also automatically resolving issues on those endpoints. So for instance, if you have if a machine is infected by a malware, Microsoft Defender is able to tell you, the analyst, that this machine has a malware in this specific location, and this is how the malware is working. And then according to MITRE, this is how it works. This is how the ATP that actually has this malware works, or this is how it's just working in the environment. And then it continues to stop any activity being performed by that particular file. Sometimes it's wrong. It might just have, let's say, an incident management or an asset management tool, and then see it as a malware and send an alert to the SOC. So basically, that's how the endpoint detection and response works. You have a real-time visibility, and then you also have automated response, and also has threat hunting in there. Yes. So basically, that's what the endpoint detection and response tools do in our environment. You don't have any question? Okay. So in the Security Operations Center environment as well, we have the intrusion detection and then prevention systems, where we normally just say IPS, IDS, IPS, IDS. Yes, so the IPS basically does the prevention. The IDS just detects whatever malicious activity that goes on in a network. Okay, so intrusion detection, it detects it. Prevention, it prevents it, right? So these are some of the tools. We have the SNOT, we have Suricata, we have Zik. Later on, I'll share this slide so that you guys can quickly check out the tools. And then for SNOT, I know you can configure it yourself. If you have a cloud platform that you can basically just install these tools and play with them, you can go ahead and do that. Yeah, so the Suricata, the Zik, they are all for network monitoring to detect what malicious activities in a network. Moving on, we have threat intelligence.
Before you continue, there's a question for you.
Okay.
The question: what are some of the challenges you face when deploying EDR solutions, and how can we overcome them?
What are some of the challenges we face when we are deploying EDR solutions?
Yeah, EDR solutions, endpoint detection response solutions.
Oh, I've
and
never
how we
had
can overcome them.
I've never had any experience with deploying an EDR all by myself. So I don't know if the person is speaking from an infrastructure and administration side. So for me, I can't speak to that, right? If anyone has had, if you've had any challenges deploying any EDR solutions, maybe you can share. Or if the person can, maybe wants to ask something else. For me, I've not had any experience deploying any EDR in an environment, so I can't speak to that. By all means, there are challenges. We can quickly search what challenges are there and know how other people have worked around it. Is that okay, Stoneboy? Yeah. Or Dennis, if you have an experience with it, you can just tell us.
No, I'm not a SOC guy. So
So Shatawali said he does SOC part-time. Shatawali, have you had any challenges?
Not any. Okay, I've not set up any SOC before, but I believe Wendell can throw more light on that.
Wendell, okay. Hello, Wendell, we are waiting for you.
Please, what was the question again?
So the question is saying, what are some of the challenges you face when deploying EDR solutions, and how can we overcome them?
I've not yet faced any challenge yet, so I can't throw more light on it. I'm also a beginner, so I don't know why Maxam is there pushing me to say
Oh,
things that I don't even know.
Maxam is Shatawali.
Yeah, he's Shatawale.
Why are you doing that?
Oh, but personally, I've only worked with Waza's EDR, like
Okay.
yeah, that one. It was I just installed the agents on the endpoints, and I didn't have any challenge with it. So
Yeah. Okay. So as SOC analysts, we don't directly deploy solutions. We get help from mostly the so you guys aren't speaking English. Oh. We get help mostly from the system administrators, system security guys. So we don't directly deploy solutions. We get help from these people. Please, what language are we speaking? I don't want to be looking at this comment. Let me just continue. We are speaking English. You're asking us what language are we speaking?
Now, if that you get two sets.
also the terms you are just saying, they are like the EDR is, they are just abbreviations that they are using. I'm answering links. Sorry. So they are just
So
abbreviations that we are just using. EDR means endpoint detection and response, and SOC means security operations center.
exactly. Oh, but when I started, I kept mentioning it. So thank you, Wendell. Links, are you okay? A question about malware. With more advanced malware that can bypass traditional security methods like behavioral or signature-based detection, how do SOC teams handle these challenges? As we see more malware and ransomware attacks, what steps do you take to stay protected? So this question is a good one. Now let's quickly talk about. Okay, so let me jump to the network traffic analyzer. Okay, so even though we have endpoint detection and response tools, there's a reason why there's a detection and then a response. They detect and respond. Okay, so should they find a malware, they respond to it. Should that malware pass them by, and you see any malicious activity going in your environment, or you see alerts being thrown from a particular device, okay, you basically have to investigate it. You can isolate that particular device, okay? You isolate that particular device off the network and perform further checks on that particular device. Let me read the question again. A question about malware. With more advanced malware that can bypass traditional security methods like behavioral or signature-based detection, how do SOC teams handle these challenges as we see more malware and ransomware attacks? What steps do you take to stay protected? Now, mind you, we have a lot of threat intelligence platforms that are threat sources to all these tools that we are using. Okay, so should there be a pattern that's going to alert the SOC? Should there be any pattern of or anything that has any techniques, tactics, procedures that are being used by any threat actor? We have tools that have all these rules that are set. Example, the alert has loads of rules that are set to be able to handle all this swift changes and let me go over this comment. Swift changes in an environment. So as I was saying, for example, you see a machine in let's say an HR machine installing any weird software or having any weird connection. You understand? To a weird IP somewhere. You don't have to say that, oh, because the alerts on that machine, you didn't get any alert, so you were not able to identify it. Mind you, so far as you have a software installed, mostly at our SOCs, most things that you install we get alerts from it. Okay. If hashes of this software that you install match what we have in an environment or match the checksums match, and then they are good to go, we overlook them. But should we see a slight change? That's why we are there as SOC analysts, having all this knowledge to do what? Be able to investigate and then triage deep down to find problems in our environment, right? So we have lots of tools. That's why we don't have just one tool. You have threat intelligence platforms. You have that the SIM. You have the network detection and response. And mind you, right now we have AIs that are being integrated into this network and detection response tools. For example, Darktrace. Darktrace has what we call the AI engine. Okay. Let me see if I could. AI engine. AI engine. Oh, what are you even showing? My press. I said no. AI engine lab. So basically we have AI stuff that are being incorporated now, and a whole lot of things. If someone could also add to what the question or what I've given so far, I would love to hear that. Oh, we are good to go. Ghost. Hello, Ghost. Okay. If we are good to go, then that's fine. If you have any other thing to add to, that's fine. Maxam, you can add a bit. Yeah, I think, or cyber admin, if you have anything to say about that.
I don't have anything to add, so I think we can proceed. It said basically what we do. So
Okay. All right. Wendell and links.
Yes.
Okay, I think we'll just continue. No one is speaking, so we can go back to threat intelligence. Now, the primary goal of the threat intelligence platforms is to what? Help us link between an operational environment and potential adversaries and devise defense strategies to counter attacks. And how do we do this? We do this to be able to do what? Address these few questions, right? So who is targeting your organization? What are their motivations? What capabilities do they possess? Which artifacts and indicators of compromise should be monitored? So mostly external assets and in an environment are basically put out there on this threat intelligence platforms to be able to see the threat landscape of your assets out there. Okay, so for instance, you have your Microsoft solution or your 365 environment, your Active Directory, your Azure Active Directory, maybe your AWS setup, being either on-prem, either hybrid or just on-prem or in the cloud. You could have series of threat actors trying to attack all these assets. Okay. Now, we would want to know if our credentials are being leaked. We would also want to know how we are doing in the cyber world. Okay, using our external assets. basically, threat intelligence platforms helps us to do this. Yes, so we are able to use indicators of compromise to actually say, oh no, this is an attack towards us. These credentials are being taken from here, and sometimes you even get to experience some of your credentials being on the dark web, right? So immediately you see those, you have to make sure that the change in passwords, the accounts are being resetted and all that. So that's just a quick example about how threat intelligence platforms work, right? Now, we say that they aggregate and enrich threat data to provide actionable insights. Now, here are some of the examples of threat intelligence platforms. So we have Active Security, not so popular, but a very powerful solution. We have CyberInt, Cyber Threat Intelligence Platform. I wish I could show you how all this work. Yeah, all basically organizations. I can't show that. So guys, we can just maybe go to YouTube, take a look at some of these tools and how they work and all that. I can't basically show any organizations threats platforms here, so just bear with me. Yes, so moving back to the network traffic analyzers that we have. So the network traffic analysis that we do day to day at the SOC. So anything that goes on the network, right? Also goes through our NTAs, our NDR. So the NTA is the network traffic analyzer, NDR, the network detection and response. Okay, so basically, the network traffic analyzers monitor and analyze network traffic to detect anomalies, right? So we have rules that are written in this network traffic analyzers or network detection and response tools to help us what? Detect, monitor, and respond to what? Threats in our environment. When I say environment, basically a network environment or an organization setup, infrastructure, all that. So that trees is a very huge tool. It has a lot of features. I hope I just wish I could show you. I could just show you guys, but we can't do that here. So I can do that here. So we have the dark trees. The dark trees has an AI in there picking up threats, even sometimes automatically resolving alerts and all that. Anything that goes through the network, any traffic that goes through the network also goes through this network traffic analyzers, right? Mostly this solutions have, how do we call it, like physical devices there in the data center, okay, directly connecting to the routers and all that. So you are able to see everything, the switches and routers. So early threat detection, and you identify lateral movements. You basically do a lot. So for example, the dark trace solution detects, it's able to quarantine devices. It can take your machine off the network totally. So those are some of the powers we have as SOC analysts and organization. You're able to quarantine people's devices, block some connections, and all that if you just find any malicious activity going on. And they'll start calling you, oh, we are not receiving this, what is happening? Yeah, that's where you feel powerful a bit. Aside that, no one cares about you. That's just by the way. Yes, and then we have a security orchestration, automation, and response. I know this is not really popular to us, but we use this at the SOC as well. So far, please, do you have any question?
Well, I don't see any question in the chat, so I think everyone is good with the explanation and everything you're saying so far. So I think we can proceed.
Okay. And I hope you are learning something today.
Yeah, we are learning a lot from this.
Okay. All right. So basically, that's all. Just automate incident response workflows to accelerate threat mitigation. I think on the next one, we should maybe another person can take incident response because it's also a large, as a big section of the SOC. So we could get someone on board too. I was speaking to cyber admin.
Yeah, I'm taking notes of that.
So some of the examples of this SOC tools that we have is the Palo Alto Cortex XL. We have Splunk as well. And this helps us to reduce response time and then also streamline incident management and all that. Yes. So basically, we've spoken a lot. We've spoken a lot about the tools. Let me just go back. Yes, we've spoken about the SIM platform, some examples of the SIM platforms that we have, what the SIM does, what the endpoint detection and response tools do, what the IDS and IPS do in our environments.
It be me I say be liability.
Let's proceed.
Intelligence platforms. We haven't spoken about application security, but I'll be doing that in a bit. So basically, we've spoken about most of the tools over here and what they do at the SOC. Yes, you might go on a pen test. I know we have a lot of red teamers over here. You might go on a pen test and you think, oh, you have the safest or the trickiest way of making sure you don't make any noise in the environment. Mind you, you would have to do a lot of work for this NDR, so this network detection and response tools not to block your network. Yeah, so if you're on the network, if you're on a red teaming project, that makes it a difficult one. If it's a pen testing, you can quickly tell them that, oh, please release this, or you go ahead and max the IP or do whatever tricks you need to do. If the scope allows you to be able to bypass and then do whatever you have to do, you can go ahead. But if it doesn't allow you, you can just request for an opening, making them know that, okay, their solutions are really working and all that.
Okay, before you proceed, there's a question in the chat for you. How do EDRs and how does EDR differ from XDR?
Okay. So EDR they basically work on endpoints, right? They pick a certain form of alerts. I'm just trying to differentiate it between, let's say, how I see Microsoft Defender and then how I see Darktrace. Darktrace is also an XDR. It works as an XDR, an extended detection and response tool. Right. So
Fearless, are you there? Hello, Fearless.
hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Okay. Okay, so I was trying to explain the difference between the EDR and then the XDR, right? So endpoints, the EDRs basically work on endpoints. Okay, I'm trying so hard to confuse this. XDRs. So we can say that the EDRs would do their own triaging like it detects that's the response on this endpoint. But the extended has the machine learning and or the AI integration helping to do the detection and response. That's the best explanation I can give. If anyone knows more about it, they can also feed us in. Wendell. Okay, cyber admin, if you could help.
Well, with I would say EDR and SDR, the little I know is that EDR is more specific to the endpoint, but SDR is more like it's kind of let me see, combining both NDR as the EDRs, and it has more let's say capabilities as compared to EDRs. EDRs are specific, more specific functionality as compared to SDR, which um takes all the other responsibility of NDR, EDR, and I think we have the whole station. I think we have EDR, NDR, and HDR. Yeah, so it has that capability to do all that work at one point in time, but EDR has just endpoint functionality. That is the little I know. I think I'm even confusing it because it's quite a bit confusing, but I think we just need to do some reading to understand it properly.
Yeah. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I think Ghost yourself, if you have any suggestion or if you, I think you know what it is, so you can just tell us. Okay, Ghost is not speaking or if any other person can help us understand.
Well, I, I mean, look, here, let's assume that many people don't have idea about the blue team aspect a lot, so we might take the silence for that today. So please, it's a good question that he asked because it's a question
Yeah.
that I came across at the point myself. But somebody asked me that this is the second time, and I think reading about it back then, I realized that SDA had a lot of tasks that it had to do because it takes the endpoint, the networks. It doesn't just do one work, it has a lot more work to do as compared to the EDR, which is more specific to just the endpoints. So I think, but we can read more. So let us all go back and read more about this and you know what to. Yeah, okay. So Ghost is saying something. I've been hearing a lot of EDRs and a lot of excuse sorry. I've been hearing a lot about EDRs and SDR, but I don't really understand how they work. Okay, so now he's asking about how they work, not what they are.
And basically that's, I think the answers it a bit. And for me, I know about the XDR having a broader scope, like it has a lot included over there. The machine
Yeah,
learning,
exactly.
with the AI tools helping to respond to threats. So I'll say is it can basically work as an EDR and an NDR uh, and help in triaging and also automation of uh, response for doing all this triaging.
Okay.
We would have to read more on it, yes. Myself, I would have
Yeah,
to read more on it.
Ghost, I hope that answers your question fairly for now. Ghost, can you hear me? Okay. I think he can't hear me. Let me assume that he can't hear me, so let's take it that way. Okay.
We can also maybe quickly just check.
Okay.
If I check in it, I'm not getting. You can just Google it and maybe same questions. Yeah, can I copy?
Maybe you can make the search as ADR versus SDR. And then they tell you how they work.
Okay. Hmm. So I think we're on the right path. It says EDR focuses on protecting individual devices. Exactly. while XDR takes a broader view and unifies security across multiple environments. Okay, how they work. EDR uses a behavior-based detection engine to identify unknown threats, while XDR uses a combination of behavior-based detection engines and advanced endpoints and network rules. It also uses machine learning to create profiles of suspicious behavior and also automates incident response workflows. I hope this is a good one.
Yeah, so basically that's what we've been talking about. So
Yeah.
Ghost said he's gonna read more about it, so I think we are
Um,
fine now.
Okay. First of
Rich, do
all,
you have any more thing to share with us?
yeah, so this is the last slide, and then we can
Okay,
call it.
please go ahead.
So, some of the things that do we do on a daily is also making sure that we review our tools, making sure we are not just bombarded by alerts because we have something called alert fatigue. If you have a lot of, if you have the same alerts coming as false positive, you need to fine tune them and also make sure that you are getting the right type of alerts in your in your SIM, and that is for you, the SOC analyst, to go there and then fine tune these rules that are set in the solution for you to be able to properly investigate alerts, and also adding of rules. We sometimes add certain rules in the environments. We know that this, so if there's a trend in a particular uh, uh, platform, or let's say a cyber trend that is going on, we mostly go there and then set rules so that we are up to date, and also make sure that we are defending organizations to our very best. So that's all for this session, and thank you guys for having me on board, and I wish you all a good time and hoping to speak with you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Richfield. Guys, I hope you enjoyed the blue team session today. If I would like to know your views about today's session. If you're interested in more blue team, we will try as much as possible to find a balance between the red team and the blue team, because it looks like we'll be having more of red team, pen testing, and all those things. So if you find today's session interesting, then we'll find a balance between the two. So because you can give your feedbacks in the chat session if you find this interesting, and hope that we have more of these sessions as compared to just having the pen test side, the red team side, and that kind of aspects we've been having since we started BTS session. I would like to hear your opinions. If you can't unmute yourself and talk, just leave your answers or your opinions in the chat session for me. Thank you. Please, let's take the next 5 minutes to do that. Is it not M3? Is there a problem? Not M3. You're posting a lot of cranky emojis. Is everything okay? Babalao, Ghost Links, not M3, Stoneboy, Window. Do you guys have an opinion? Do you want us to continue these sessions, or do you want us to have more of blue team sessions? I want your opinion on this because we have to know what you need and what we can provide as a community. Okay, so go set more blue team sessions. Okay, I think that is a helpful answer. Links, do you have anything to say? Okay, I think Links has dropped from the custom boy window. Babalao, do you guys have any other opinions? Okay. Well,